Well, this here is the all-new BMW X4, and if you're in the market for an SUV, or maybe if you're in the market for a BMW X3 and you want something a little different, a little more unique, and something which offers you a little more space in the back seat, then this is the car for you. Now, what do you think of the looks? Well, I really like the front end of the car, but what do you think of the back? Because that's the part which really does split opinion. Let me know in the comments below, and also follow me on Instagram. My handle is Ashish Masih 1. You can also follow the team at Autoportal_India for all our car updates. Now let's jump inside the car and tell you about the interiors of the new X4. Well, the quality of this car is definitely ahead of the BMW X3, its own sibling, if that's the big comparison that you're making. And special mention has to be made about the attention to detail, especially this double stitching over here on top of the dashboard, as well as the top of the door pads. It really does make the cabin feel special as well as very sporty. Also, special mention has to be made about all the materials. They're definitely ahead of any other SUV which sells at the same price point. Even the smallest of small switchgear has a nice and tactile feel, and the AC vents really feel solidly put together and have a sense of solidity as well as quality about themselves. Now, even the center console, the lower end of the center console, a place where most buyers don't pay attention to, is really well bolted together, and the seats themselves are huge in terms of comfort. You get excellent support for your under thighs. You get these very prominent side bolsters, which are adjustable, by the way. So if you're thin and aren't very chubby like me, then you can obviously squeeze them up or build them up to squeeze you in. And of course, if you are a little chubby like me, you can always loosen them up by the electric adjustable seats which have been offered with adjustments. So the seats really are a big talking point and are huge on comfort. In terms of features, it's a great car to be in. You of course get the iDrive system and this huge infotainment screen, and this screen is by far the best screen to use. The infotainment system, the iDrive system, is the best one to use ahead of Mercedes Star Command as well as Audi's MMI Tech. It's more intuitive, is easier to operate, and it's much easier to go to the menus, sub-menus, as well as everything which is on offer here. In terms of the features, you get this huge panoramic sunroof, you get traction control, you get hill hold assist, you of course get auto hold as well as electric brakes, and you get a host of other features which I can't really mention at the moment. So check them out by going to our website. We'll of course put the link in the description box below. Well, so in terms of overall space at the back, I have good news for you that the X4 is a great car for overall space, because you get good knee room, and despite that sloping roofline at the back, headroom is also quite decent because you get this scooped out effect from BMW. So headroom is quite okay for someone who's about 5'10" or 5'11". Even if you're about 6 feet tall, you should be quite okay in these seats for sheer headroom. The seats themselves are decent. They're a bit closer. They're not as high set as some other SUVs, but that's quite okay because the seat comfort is decent, and it is generally a wide car, so you can actually have 3 at the back. Even though there is a big hump in the floor panel, there is plenty of place around it where you can stretch your feet. You also get your own AC vents, which add to the practicality as well as comfort, and the backrest angle also can be adjusted. It's not a big adjustment, but it can be done. And of course, if you only want to have 2 people at the back, you can scoop out this little armrest and sit here like the boss. So overall, it's a great place for comfort as well as space on those long highway trips. Well, so if you have only 2 occupants traveling in this car and you really want to access the boot, then all you need to do is simply open this little seat over here in the middle, and you'll of course get easy access to the boot. Now the boot in itself is nice in terms of its space as well as size, and it has a pretty square shape as well, and the lip also isn't there, so it'll be easy to access the boot when you're opening it from the outside. But of course, this is a feature which is present because of Europe. Europeans like to go out for skiing and such trips, and of course their skis fit inside the car. Half of them are in the boot and half inside the cabin, so it's a very European feature which is available on this car. But it's a very thoughtful feature for people in India, lazy people like me who don't want to get out in this heat and open the boot and sweat around a lot. So for them, it's a great feature. Of course, if you have access to the boot from inside the car, a very thoughtful touch and a very good one for lazy people and for people who live up here in the north, where the summers can really be very difficult to live with. So overall, in terms of boot space, it is a very impressive car. Well, so in terms of the driving department, the BMW X4 that we're driving today comes with a 2-liter petrol engine which makes about 250 bhp and about 350 Nm of torque, and all this power is transferred to the wheels via an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and the gearbox is sublime to use. It's effortless, and really you can't even feel the gears when you're on the move and driving it in pure automatic mode. But of course, if you decide to shift the gears via these flappy pedals behind the steering wheel, it is a quick shifting gearbox, and there's absolutely no time lag between the time you hit this pedal here and the gear change is actually outside. So it is a very quick-witted gearbox, and you'll really enjoy driving this car. Now, what you'll also enjoy about this car is the performance of this engine. The performance is very good. BMW claims 0 to 100 in just a shade over 6 seconds, and those figures are very good considering that it is a big and bulky SUV. It's not a sports car, and definitely it's not a saloon. So for such a big car and such a heavy car, it is quite good. And what you'll also like is the agility that this car displays, especially for its girth. It is a very agile car. It loves to change directions quickly, and of course if you push it into corners and go around curves at higher speeds, then this car will hug the road like a leash. What you'll also enjoy and you like to use is of course the settings over here. You can always choose the comfort setting, and what that setting does is makes everything light and easy. But of course, if you want to use this car on the track, you can choose the sport mode, and everything becomes angry inside the car. Even the dials turn super red. They're white and blue for the other settings, but for this sport setting, they turn red, and the steering wheel suddenly becomes a lot more weightier, and it has more weight in it, and the gearbox and the engine become a whole lot more angrier, and suddenly performance goes to another level, and you'll really enjoy driving this car. And it is really a car to be driven hard and to be enjoyed, because that's what BMWs are known for, and the X4 is true to BMW's overall original DNA. Now, this engine is a beauty in terms of the refinement levels. Yes, so when it's running and you're standing at a signal at a junction, you'll not even know that the engine is running, and people in the back will really have a great time inside this car because they will be welcomed in a cocooned environment. This car really feels very well cocooned from whatever's happening on the outside. So it's a great car for overall refinement, quietness, as well as calmness inside the cabin. It's a very calm cabin, and it's a soothing cabin to be in. What you'll also like is the ride comfort, and the ride on this car is very good. It's a nice mix of sportiness as well as comfort, and if you're driving this car at slow city speeds, then you won't feel too many bumps or potholes entering the cabin. Even at faster speeds, there isn't anything which really troubles the X4. So as I just said, it's got a good mix of slow city comfort as well as agility when you're on the move on the highway. Now, of course, if you are someone who enjoys taking his car on the track, this car can go there, and you'll really enjoy driving this car on the track because its performance is very good. And if you of course put it around corners, there's a little bit of body roll, but it's always under control. The grip from the tires is absolutely phenomenal. There's no complaints in that department. It's very hard to break traction on this car. And what you'll also like if you're sitting inside is the visibility, because the visibility for a car which has a coupe-like back is pretty good. You get decent view from this center window and the center mirror here, and the side view mirrors are also nice and big and chunky. And of course, because you sit up high, you get a good view of the road ahead. And of course, you can always choose the comfort setting, where you get very good and positive feedback from the steering wheel. It's a very accurate, very positive steering wheel, but it doesn't become overtly heavy, so it won't tire you out. It's a car that you can drive yourself and enjoy it on a daily basis, and it will not tire you out. So of course, you can choose the sport setting and make it angry and take it on the track, but the comfort setting really is the one to choose for if you want to use it as your daily driver. So what I'm essentially trying to say is that the X4 is a great little package for keen drivers. It's a great car for comfort, it's a great car for enthusiasts, and it's a great car for overall ride comfort as well. And I would give it a very strong score of 90 out of 100 in the driving department. I've really enjoyed driving this car, and so will you whenever you decide to take it out for a spin. And it's definitely worth the money, and it's definitely worth the price that BMW is asking for it. It's bye for now, and hope to see you soon. Well, so if you're in the market for a luxury SUV which offers you a great driving experience, lots of space inside the cabin, and a unique coupe-like design, then the X4 really is the car to go for. It really does offer all the essentials that BMW cars are known for, and it also offers you this unique design at the back. Overall, I'll give it a strong score of 89 out of 100. It's a car that you should definitely check out at a BMW dealership near you. It's bye for now and hope to see you soon.